People in songs ball.
Roll with
really,
it.
oh my God, really run with it.
I love it. I love it.
Cavaliers tonight. They lost against the Knicks last night. That Latrell Sprewell boy, he is tough.
Man, that's
tough.
They really lost that game.
139 to 134.
They were winning most of it.
They lost. I think the Cavs are 13 and 28.
13-37.
13-37. Yeah. They're off tonight. You can't lose when you don't play. And they'll be in Oklahoma City tomorrow night.
You can't lose when everybody gets traded, though.
Cavs at Thunder tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, here on WMMS. Your FM flagship for Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. So, the worst people in songs. Alan, what about Timothy? Do you remember that song, Timothy? The Pina Colada guy wrote that song. We've played it before about the guys who were in the mine and eat their friend Timothy. That's what the song is about. Timothy, what did we do? There are 3 men trapped in a collapsed mine, and 2 of them eat Timothy.
I don't think we've talked about this before.
I feel like we've played this before. The band was called the Buoys, like out there on the, not the boys, the Buoys.
Wow.
Imagine that's your song. You're like, oh, what's your song about? Cannibalism. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a hit song about cannibalism.
Extreme circumstances, though.
Sure.
That's when cannibalism becomes more of a gray area. Right?
Well, if you let the person sit there too long, yeah. Billie Jean was an indiscriminate slut.
Yeah.
Daryl Hall in Private Eyes is a big old creeper. How about Mama Loves Papa by Garth
That rich
Brooks?
girl was no peach either, though.
Well, he kept calling her a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was kind of a bitch.
The date rape guy in the Sublime song.
Oh, yeah, he's bad.
But he gets his in the end,
Yeah,
right?
he gets it. Yeah. Literally.
Alan, there's a song by the Decemberists called the Rake's Song. He kills his 3 kids because his wife dies and he doesn't want to be burdened with them.
Jeez.
Okay.
All those girls singing about paying their bills. Destiny's Child.
Yeah, right.
They're the bad guys in that song.
Uh-huh.
Because also she's supposed to be some independent woman, but also pay my bills.
What about the
mixed messages?
What about the guy that's on the passenger side in No Scrubs, trying to holler?
He's the scrub.
I was gonna say he's hollering at Chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is indeed a scrub.
I mean, Wrong Way by Sublime. You know, there's a 12-year-old hooker in that song.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's the wrong way, man.
Wrong way. Stripper Scott texted me one time I was at a strip club getting chatted up by some foxy young thing when she dropped, I have 4 kids on me. I was so dumbstruck. All I could say was, wow, that's a lot of kids, and I got up and left.
For you to get up and leave a conversation with a hot chick, whoa.
Oh,
yeah,
but he's got a code.
And a girl was chatting him up?
He does it
at a strip club.
Well, it's a strip club.
I know.
They're on the clock. Mm-hmm. They're chatting all those guys up. And it's his money. He don't want to spend it on 4 kids.
He's like, well,
he wants to spend it on her.
That's a lot of mouths to feed. What you gonna do for it?
He wants someone that was only recently a kid.
Right. Somebody who's legally just stopped being a kid.
Yeah.
All right.
Stripping is a profession like anything else. Puts food on the table, keeps the lights on. Nobody's judging.
Was that another Poundcake hot take, Bill?
It seems like it.
Hey! It's a Poundcake hot take.
Just saying. I don't look down on any stripper.
No one.
Who said you did?
I don't know.
You traditionally look up at them.
Kinda.
It's nearly impossible to look down on them. There's none of that in the champagne room.
I haven't been to the strip club in a while.
Oh, there's champagne in the champagne room.
Well, Dirty Diana wasn't too picky either. If you go back into the Michael Jackson discography, The Dad and a Boy Named Sue.
The guy from Shot a Man in Reno, Just Watch Him Die.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not a good guy. It's a bad guy.
I mean, yeah, if you shoot a guy just to watch him die, you've got some issues.
What about the guy who...
You need to talk to someone about that.
What about the guy who hurt Boy George?
Well, he said, do you really want to hurt me?
Yeah.
Do you really want to make me cry?
Right. But I don't.
But
I felt like he
yes.
was kind of warning it, right? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Was there ever any closure there? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? A lot of talk still about J-Lo and Shakira killing it
Shakira.
at the Super Bowl. You know, the pearl clutching aside from the usual suspects, most people agree rationally that it was a fantastic halftime show.
It was really
I'm
great.
bummed I missed it. Quite honestly.
Fair boys say the people in dry love. Fatty is pretty nasty in that song.
There's nothing wrong with the people in dry love. You don't want anybody scratching your beans.
Well, I'm teenage Bill in that, and we're just not
Yeah.
ready to take it to that next level. So there's some dry humping happening.
right.
And you are Club Alan, who's kind of a creep that likes to rub up on girls in clubs. But you know,
But we're all rubbing up against
Yeah,
each other, and
yeah.
then it looked like I spilled a White Russian on my pants.
Yes.
Right.
And then-
but that doesn't make us creeps.
but Fatty,
well, she's leaking.
She's leaking. She's twerking, and she's rubbing on Ian's sleeping friends. There's a gherkin in there somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
twerking, the twerking the gherkin.
Yeah. Fupa King Koopa. God damn, that song's stupid.
Oh, it's great. So, you know, Franklin Graham, who is one of your fake Christians, he's Billy Graham's son. He was commenting on the Super Bowl halftime show, and he goes, look, I don't expect the world to act like the church, but then moral decency, blah, 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 protecting children, as if they care
Here's the
about
thing.
that.
Where's that
blah,
dog?
blah, blah.
Turn it off then. Just turn it off.
Turn
If you
it
don't
off.
If you don't
Blah,
like it,
blah, blah.
turn it off and shut the hell up.
Here's what I like, though. Everybody's dragging this woman who responded to him and said, agreed. Even my 13-year-old son got up and went to his bedroom. Simply disgusting. And they're like, oh, sweetie.
Oh, honey.
You know what he was doing, right? You think your son... And that's the trouble with people who have no sense of irony, who are fundamentalist in any capacity, is they don't see what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
You thought your 13-year-old son got up after the J-Lo Shakira halftime show because he was disgusted?
Yeah, he's like, I can't watch another second of this
I'll
with my
be
mom.
in my room.
Oh, that's the worst.
You don't want to watch it with your mom?
Hell no. I used to hate watching really hot sex scenes, and then I'm like, my mom's in the room. This sucks.
Well, especially because you kind of couldn't, for a while, couldn't let on as to what you really dug.
Well, no,
I mean, if
the one sex scene that would really get me was the one in Unfaithful. And my mom, that was like one of my mom's favorite
was
movies.
that Diane Lane? And,
Yep, and
okay.
that one guy, and right in the hallway where he gets her and he gets her good. I'm like,
in the hallway.
I used to hate that. I was like, oh my gosh, I know it's coming. And I was like, be mature, be mature, be mature. And I'm like, I can't watch it.
But why would you watch that with your mom?
Why would you watch that
Why
with
were
your
you there
mom?
in the
That's so
first
weird.
place?
Because my thinking was, don't make a big deal about it. It's not a big deal. There's sex scenes on TV all the time. But, like, it's just a movie like anything else. So I figured it would be more, like, I would draw more attention to myself if
But
I
if
got
it's
up and
one of
walked
your-
out of the room.
No, but if you know it's one of your mom's favorite movies, she doesn't love it for the script.
But it
you
was
know why she likes it.
No, but, like, we would watch it. This sounds bad, but it was, like, at a family function. Like, it was, like, I don't know.
What?
I know. It would be like when we're all together, we'll have movie night, and it was like.
And they picked Unfaithful?
I think it just happened to be on. I think it was like a TV movie, but still, it showed everything. It showed the sex scene, and I was like, ugh. And there I went, and I was like, put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down.
But again, you are here because your mom had sex. So it's like,
But it's still.
it's uncomfortable. I was more uncomfortable years ago watching Pitch Perfect with my family.
Why?
Because I wanted to pull my skin off my face. That movie is so bad.
But you don't have to worry about getting a boner.
Well, let's not get ahead of
He
ourselves.
didn't-
Yeah,
he didn't-
Anna Kendrick's pretty cute.
He didn't get her good in the stairwell, though.
And then who else? There's a bunch of cute girls in that movie.
Brittany Snow,
Yeah.
and but still,
There's that blonde
those
one.
movies are so awful. It was making me angry that we were watching it.
Yes, but still, it's not a sex scene. No one's getting done dirty in the stairwell. Like
I would have
it's-
rather had that. I would have
your
rather
kids in the
watched.
room?
My kids weren't there.
But I'm saying.
I would have rather had. Oh, you mean me being my parents' kids?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a grown man. Like, they know I have children. They know that I've had sex, and I exist, so I know they've had sex.
That's weird.
As conservative as my parents are in so many other ways, they were never conservative about that. I hated watching Pitch Perfect with them. Seriously, I would rather have watched 9.5 Weeks with my parents than watch Pitch Perfect.
What's 9.5 Weeks?
It's a sex movie.
Sex movie from the 80s. Kim Basinger, Mickey Rourke. They inspired a generation of people to pretend that they liked having food in sex.
Like food makes sex
pour
good.
honey on.
Yeah.
It's
You're not gonna watch
just sticky and terrible.
Nymphomaniac with your kids.
Nymphomaniac, the Shia LaBeouf thing. Yeah. No, if it's a movie called Nymphomaniac, you know what it's about.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm not going to watch Antichrist or Nymphomaniac. Any of those movies with my kids.
I mean, it never fails though. If I was watching something like Game of Thrones, my kids would always walk in as soon as there's a scene, like boobs, or there's a big dong on the screen. They're like, and they just walk in. They're like, "What do you guys want? Oh, okay, I gotta go." But they wouldn't like hang out for it. Boobs. And it's also one of those things where you can't just pause it because then you just paused on the boobs.
Boobs. What are you guys doing here? It's just a giant teat on the screen.
See, I remember when I was younger, like we had HBO for free for a bit, and my mom was like in the shower and she left the TV on, and I walked out to the living room, and it was like, I think it was like Real Sex or something like that. And I was like, okay, so she knows, she changed the channel to HBO, so she knows what channel it's on. I was like, if I change it, she's going to know that I saw something I wasn't supposed to see, and I changed it. I was like, but if I leave it there...
Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah. So I was like, but if I leave it, because it was loud, it was blaring through the whole house. It was in the living room, and it was Real Sex, and there were just, a bunch of dongs on TV and boobs hanging out. So I just stood there for a minute, and then as soon as I heard the shower stop, I ran to my room, and instantly, when my mom got out and saw what was on TV, she's like, "You getting ready for bed?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." I think she knew that I knew what was going on in the living room, and I just was trying to not go.
How old were you?
Oh, I was probably 11. This was at my very first, the house I grew up in, so I couldn't have been more than 11 because we moved out at 12.
I had so many episodes of Red Shoe Diaries on tape.
David Duchovny.
Yeah, because we didn't, for whatever reason, we had Cinemax. Or whatever. Was it Showtime? I think it was on Showtime.
Showtime, yes.
Yeah, so we had Showtime, and I would just schedule it and record it, and then but it was like a heist where I'd have to go out there, set it to record, let it record. I'd put a piece of tape over the VCR in case my dad came down.
Oh my God!
And so anything, yeah, so that lights wouldn't because it would say REC on the VCR.
Oh my God!
And then there'd be a red light too.
That's funny.
So I'd have to cover that up so that he wouldn't be suspicious. And then
boy, you had all kinds. It was like a heist you were playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever get caught?
And all the time.
Like watching porn?
Not what I got caught one time where it was a real close call where I had just hit switched over from one channel to the other.
Oh my God!
And I was just I had just flipped to Sports Center, and my dad's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just watching Sports Center." He's like, "Oh yeah, you should go to bed now." I'm like, "I go to bed now." I just went to bed.
So he knew.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, I mean, they know.
I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to be able to lie on my stomach for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in there on my back or side sleeping. Alan, try watching Sausage Party with your parents. Horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Watching that movie at all is a horrible mistake.
Probably, yeah.
Talk about an unfunny movie. I don't know how Seth Rogen makes an unfunny cartoon, but he managed to do it.
Sure did.
Right?
Yeah.
Movie was not funny.
It was not great. Not good at all. There's lots of stuff like that it's just so awkward. But that's one of the things, my parents have so little interest in anything that's, they won't even watch R-rated movies, so there's not a lot of sex scenes below that.
But even a non-sexy, they wouldn't watch, The Bourne Identity or something. They wouldn't watch an R-rated...
Those are PG-13.
Are they?
Yeah.
So they won't watch an R-rated movie?
They'd watch something like Saving Private Ryan, but no, not really, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They take it pretty serious.
It's filth. It's just nothing but filth.
Well, no, but even people who don't like sex movies are usually fine with violent movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget it when we were watching Freddy vs. Jason at the drive-in. Oh my God! So it was.
How could you forget that? Freddy vs. Jason.
Freddy versus
it's a modern classic.
But Freddy vs. Jason and
Casablanca, and then Freddy vs. Jason right underneath it.
All the kids, me and my brother and my cousins, were all in my brother's car, so we were one car, and then all the adults, my mom, my aunt, and my uncle, were all in the other car, and we were parked right next to each other. And then there's one scene, you just see a big old butt across the screen, and this guy's like, "F me, baby," and I just hear my mom
Jesus.
go, "Yeah, I know." I just hear my mom ugh. Like, and she knows that there's a car full of like young dudes right next to her. I was like, this is pretty awkward. Just a big old butt twerking right on the screen.
She was fine with the murdering, just not the ass on screen.
Yes, because the guy was
always how it is.
Yeah.
But if there was a halftime show where people just went out there and pretended
slaughtered.
to kill people, they'd be like, now this is something our family can enjoy.
That's
American
right.
classics.
Yeah. Finally, you're considering the children.
Yes.
Freddy
it wasn't
versus
very
Jason.
realistic.
Yeah, it was pretty intense because it literally came out of nowhere. Like usually those sex scenes, they're not required. Like it's not going to be.
But they're always in horror movies.
Especially
I know.
like,
Violence and
Jason
sex.
movies
It's not
are
needed.
known for that.
Yes.
Where
They
as
all
soon-
get killed
like,
right when.
The code of the slasher film was basically taken from the Jason movies because the whole premise of Friday the 13th is the kid drowned because all the counselors were banging each other.
They weren't paying attention to him.
Yeah.
Right. So whoever's having sex, you're both going to
You gotta
get
die.
killed.
You gotta die.
That's right.
It was funny.
That movie made $115 million. Freddy versus Jason.
Wow,
Cost
good for them.
$25 million to make. Made $115
It was a
million.
big deal. I don't go through the drive-through, or the drive-in movie theater like often, but that particular time there was no parking spots to watch it. So
It was Robert Englund's final appearance as Freddy Krueger.
He was great.
I remember meeting Robert Englund when my wife used to work for the Cleveland Film Commission. They'd had a wrap party for a movie that he shot in Medina some years ago. And a bunch of us were at this restaurant, and he was there, and we're just chatting it up. And Robert Englund, very nice guy, very talented dude. But boy, for a guy who was known for that character, he must have felt slightly ambivalent about it because the whole conversation I had with him is about how he came up doing Shakespeare and classic theater, and he was classically trained. I think a lot of these people who really want to be taken seriously as actors, but then you fall ass backwards into what ends up being an iconic character.
And that's who you are.
And then you're like, I do more than this. I want to do more than this, but you're always going to be Freddy Krueger.
Bronson Pinchot from Perfect Strangers.
Balky Bartokomous.
Yeah. Sean Penn was saying, don't take that role. You'll find another thing. You're a great actor. Don't take that role. Took that role. Hardly worked ever since.
He was in, I liked him in True Romance. He was the cocaine guy in True Romance.
I mean, but how long ago was that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a lot of money playing Balky Bartokomous?
Balky Bartokomous. But that show wasn't even on that long, was it?
No.
Perfect Strangers?
But that's one of those situations that kind of wrecked his career.
Cousin Laddie! Oh, Cousin Laddie! Bronson Pinchot. He's 60. Because he was also Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
He was like a Don't Be Stupid. You remember he was like he had a couple of classic characters.
But it didn't work really. All that stuff was during or after or before Perfect Strangers. Well,
No, it was all after.
Was it all after?
Perfect Strangers was on for 7 seasons.
7 seasons. When was the last season?
Oh, 93.
Okay. See, yeah, like Beverly Hills
Cop,
was
80s, yeah.
80s, and then True Romance was probably, 91 or 92?
93.
93, so it was
So
like
right
at the
after,
end.
yeah. First Wives Club, he did like some TV shows. Yeah, but it's like he was doing one of those Vanilla Ice renovation shows for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hollywood's tough.
It really is.
Tough.
Hey, I would like to audition for this film. Can you hammer a nail? We feel like your talents
Can you
might
make
be
sets?
your talents might be more behind the camera at this point. Yeah, man. Okay, let me break. You want to get the last word in about, hey, Bronson Pinchot or whatever else? The Bronson Pinchot Project was his home restoration show. Wonder if those are available on demand. I'd like to go through and watch some of those. 351